Hi, this is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Our devotion for today, January 6, 2022, is from the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 12, verses 9 through 14. I'm going to read it all. He went on from there and entered their synagogue, and a man was there with a withered hand, and they asked him, "Is it lawful to heal on the Sabbath?" so that they might accuse him. He said to them, "Which one of you who has a sheep, if it falls into a pit on the Sabbath, will not take hold of it and lift it out? How much more valuable is a man than a sheep? So it is lawful to do good on the Sabbath." Then he said to the man, "Stretch out your hand." And the man stretched it out, and it was restored, healthy like the other. But the Pharisees went out, and they conspired against him, how to destroy him. Are we to put limits on our compassion for others who are in need? Does loving our neighbor mean we do so only when it is convenient for us, or only during the daylight hours, or only during a weekday? The second greatest commandment, to love your neighbor as yourself, is given to us by God without restrictions. But our own sinful nature can't wait to place restrictions on it. The enemy is hard at work trying to limit our acts of love in the world. The religious leaders have given in to the enemy and have declared that healing someone who is sick on the Sabbath day is an act of work, and works are to be prohibited. Too bad if you break your arm on the Sabbath. It's prohibited for anyone to attend to your needs. Too bad if you have a withered hand. It's prohibited for anyone to try and heal you. But Jesus comes to us to teach us that acts of love towards one's neighbor in need have no restrictions. First, he points out the hypocrisy of the religious leaders and the people who place restrictions on these acts of love toward our neighbor, and yet will break those very restrictions in order to save a sheep that's fallen into a pit and can't free itself. A human being, our human neighbor, is indeed far more important than a sheep, Jesus says. Then Jesus turns to the man with the withered hand, and he heals him on the Sabbath. Jesus demonstrates that loving our neighbor in need, showing mercy and compassion to others who are in need of help, regardless of what day of the week it is. Those who need our understanding take priority over even a Sabbath's rest. Loving one's neighbor is indeed the right thing to do every day. Extending mercy and compassion and grace to others who are in need always takes precedence over any restrictions that would be placed on showing those things by man. We have no legitimate or righteous excuse not to help people in need. We cannot appeal to it being the Sabbath. Instead, Jesus shows us that we are free to help others at all times, and that our neighbors are also free to help us, should we become in need, even on the Sabbath. Go in peace, serve the Lord.